welcome to the HT Supercross Race 2 of Season 7 on Victoria Field, SX. I'm Jeff H3962 and I will be calling the shots today. This should be a very great race. Pancake Muffin actually took the lead. Actually, first place, not the lead, and I'll explain why. But Pancake Muffin earned first place in our very first race of the season. However, he's not sitting in the lead because Soda Pop's team of Monster Energy Kawasaki is the current leading team, and that gives them a 3-point advantage. Looks like we're actually about to start Heat 1. Hosts look like they're on the ball today. Apologies for running a little late, but our race action is beginning, and this should be a very exciting race. And again, on a very exciting season. Here we go, Heat 1. Favorites to win this heat is Castlefied and Gogeta Rules. They're both very fast racers, very consistent racers as well. In the lag test, Castlefied, though, did go down and had some trouble getting back up. So we're gonna, hopefully it doesn't happen to him again. It wouldn't be very good. And the whole shot is off. This is Heat 1, and taking the whole shot is Gogeta Rules, though he immediately wrecks over the double. He was absolutely bowled over by everyone going over that. That leaves Office in first place, followed closely by Shazzle and Mountain Dew. And in the back of the pack, it looks like Gogeta's going down again. It's not a good thing because he's actually not in qualifying position right now. He's going to need to pull it together. Shazzle and Office neck and neck right now for first place. The top 5 qualify in this heat and automatically advance to the main event. Those who do not place in the top 5 go to the LCQ, where only the top 2 racers finish. Your current leaders are Office, Shazzle, a little bit of lag. Mountain Dew is passed by Nuked Ice Cream. There's a lot of lag going on right now, actually. There wasn't a whole lot of lag in the lag test, but it looks like we're having some connection issues during this race. And it looks like we're going to restart. Not exactly sure what's causing this lag, but it's definitely substantial enough to where our race host, Castlefied, has warranted a restart on this race. So we will be back with Heat 1 and a restart. We've actually added a new rule as well to HT Supercross in regards to lag and black screens. If the race is 25% complete, less than 25% complete, then we will restart the entire race. If it is farther than 25% complete, and in the case of the heats, that is anything more than 2 laps, then we would do a staggered start where the racers line up mongoose length apart in the positions that they were in before the black screen. Race host might come to me to ask for positions, and if that does happen, I'll just be absent for a few seconds while I help out the race host. And we are restarting now. This is Heat 1 of HT Supercross Race 2, Season 7 on Victoria Field. Your current points leaders are Soda Pop and Pancake in first and second place for the entire season, though Monster Energy Kawasaki is actually largely absent from this race, and all 4 members of Rockstar Energy Racing KTM, Rockstar KTM, are present. So if all 4 of them qualified, they could very well take over that leading position and get that 3-point boost, which is a huge benefit to your season. 3 points end up being a lot of points towards the end of the season, especially in tight races where, Castlefied gets a perfect start. He is, oh yeah, that is a whole shot if I have ever seen one. Castlefide clearly in first place right now. He's followed closely by Ponage and Office, who gets a better run through the whoops. He's going to take the inside of that section to try to complete that pass, and he does. Ponage is absolutely stymied by Office, who block passes him over the second berm. Office and Ponage currently in a battle for second place, but they're trailed closely by Shazzle 4, Mountain Dew, and this looks like Gogeta rules. Nuked Ice Cream goes down in the roller section. Gogeta also rolls over a little bit. No, that's not Gogeta, that's Ponage. Goes over the rhythm section. Heading over the triple. Castlefide still has a very decent lead. He's in qualifying position right now. Office and Shazzle, still no change in position there, but Gogeta rules has regained a little bit of ground. Now going over section 1 and over the whoop section, whoever gets a better run through these whoops, that definitely helps out your time in the race. Looks like all top 6 riders make it clean, and Ponage goes for a block pass on teammate Gogeta rules, and it looks like he gets it. They're both going to take the outside. That was a pass between teammates, so clean racing is definitely something that you want to encourage between teammates, because being wrecked by another teammate, especially when you've caged jumps like that, and as soon as I'm saying stuff, people are wrecking. I think I'm jinxing things. I should probably stop jinxing stuff. Office has caught up to Castlefide a little bit. He seems to be getting a better run throughout this track. We're going to go to our alternate view and give you another view of this track. As we go over the whoop section, the Office has made a pass on Castlefide, but does not exit Rhythm 1 cleanly, and end up losing his position to Shazzle as well. But that's okay, because he's still in qualifying position. As Shazzle goes down over the berm, he's going to be out of qualifying position going back into the pack. He currently sits in 6th place. Remember, the top 5 qualify automatically for the main event. Those who do not qualify go to the LCQ. As Shazzle goes down over the rollers again, this isn't looking very good for him. It looks like he might need to go to the LCQ and try to get a first place. Office and Castle still well ahead of the pack now. Gogeta has fell behind a little bit. Not too sure what happened, but we're going to switch back to our other view and get to a better view of what's going on over the whoop section, as Gogeta is followed closely by Mountain Dew X97, who got a decent start, and I believe is fallen back in the pack substantially, but he's still in qualifying position. As he cases that jump going into the roller section, the pack is pretty evenly split right now. Not too much going on, but it looks like Office is starting to gain a little bit of ground on Castlefide once again. Office, a member of Rockstar Racing KTM, the team with all 4 members present at this race, and a team that could very well overtake a Monster Energy Kawasaki, especially if all 4 team members qualify. As we go into a tight race between, I keep saying Shazzle, Office and Castlefide. Castlefide is the leader, tactical advantage. His other teammate, Hatter is Mad, is present in Heat 2, who didn't have a very stellar race, a solid race, for lack of a better adjective. Office goes down in the roller section and is then passed by Gogeta rules, so we're starting to make a lot of good time on Castle. He's going to finish that pass off by blocking Office on the inside, but Office retakes his position shortly after. Now this is a battle between Gogeta and Office for 2nd place. Still, again, a qualifying position. I'll stop reiterating that now. It's probably getting annoying. But if Gogeta Rules can get a better run through these whoops, looks like Office had a decent run going through the inside of those whoop section, and it's actually gained a little bit of ground on Gogeta as they head into the triple. A triple that a few people have cased so far, so that could be one of those deciding factors in this track. We're 5 laps into an 8-lap race. Castlefide is looking very decent out there. In a first place, starting to lose some of that close ground, starting to gain ground, I guess would be a better way of saying that, on Office and Gogeta. And then way back, Still in qualifying position is a battle between Ponage and Mountain Dew. However, this looks like Nuked Ice Cream is going to need to make up substantial time. He's going to need to really pull a rabbit out of his hat to be able to qualify for this race. Office and Gogeta have gained a little bit of ground on Castlefied, who looks like he's just running this race a little smoothly, with the exception of that. Gogeta goes down over the double rollover section, and Office has regained his ground once again on Castlefied. He seems to have a slightly faster line through this track, so look for him in the main event. He could be a contender for winning, or at least podiuming. I'm not sure what the right tense for that is. He could get a podium position for this race. Anything's possible in HT Supercross. Season 7. Oh! Going for a dirty pass. Office tries to get around Castlefied. And both of them are slowed down from that, and that puts Office right on Castle's tail. Oh, and he tries to make a move on Castle on the inside, and Castle stymies Office in that section. He and Gogeta are once again gonna have a little bit of fun, but no, they're not, because their race is over. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Heat 1. I will go down and tell you the positions and who qualified where and who is going to the LCQ. In first place, we have Castlefied, followed, if you give me a second here, Castlefied is followed by Office, Gogeta Rules of Geico Honda. He's looking to save some money on his car insurance today. Mountain Dew, Ponage, and Nuked Ice Cream. So your top 5 consist of the racers in my screen right now, with the exception of Gogeta Rules. Nuked Ice Cream is headed to the LCQ, and we will be right back with that. And we are back and ready to start this LCQ. Going a little more in depth on the fact that was placed in the intermission. Season 4 stopped due to the Halo Track shutdown because of Trigger Smash. HT became another website, and that website was not very successful, and Halo Tracks went down because of it. But as soon as it got back up, as soon as we brought Halo Tracks back in 2012, we were able to restart HT Supercross, and have been going continuously ever since. This is the last chance qualifier. The top 2 qualify for the main event. This is a very high stakes race. Balls on the wall, or on the table, whatever you prefer. I will go to my designated talking guy area on Victoria Field SX as we look over the whole shot. In fact, let's get the pro view of this whole shot up in the Eagle's Nest, Victoria Field SX, Season 7 edition. The gate has exploded, and exploding out of the gate are your LCQ riders, and looks like Nuked Ice Cream took the whole shot, but then is immediately overtaken by Hatter, who had a very good run through the whoops. He's trailed closely by King Edward, Nuked Ice Cream, an unrealistic I'm so shift face. Hopefully I don't end up saying the other thing that you're not supposed to say on a stream. Currently in last place. Not where you want to be. Hatter is Mad goes down on the rollers and is overtaken by nobody because Nuked Ice Cream, who would have passed Hatter is Mad, hits the inside of that tough block and does not gain the position. Hatter also hits the inside of that tough block. We're going to switch to the other view. King Edward currently sitting in first place. A very comfortable first place for qualifying for the main event. We have in a battle for third place between Unrealistic and Demo Turtle, also known as Demotrol. He was not present in Heat 1 due to lag issues, so he automatically goes to the last chance qualifier. So everyone can have a chance to race in the main event, or at least qualify in the main event, and that's why Demo Turtle has automatically been put in the last chance qualifier. King Edward has a very comfortable lead over Hatter is Mad, of tactical advantage. His teammate Castlefied has qualified. King Edward is the only member of Rockstar KTM that has not automatically qualified for the main event, but it looks like as long as he can keep this up, he'll be in the main event. The pack is pretty split right now, but Demo Turtle is gaining a little bit of ground on Hatter. He gets an amazing run going through those whoop sections. If he can finish, he cannot finish that off, but he will not be overtaken by Unreal either. Unreal actually sends I'm So Shift Face, not the other word, off of the berm. That could be an intentional wreck, but if he does not qualify, that's not really going to mean a whole lot for him. I'm not too sure what the race host will decide to do if they decide to review that wreck. Edward's still in a very comfortable lead as this LCQ is now halfway over. Demo Turtle lost a little bit of ground on Hatter after flipping in Rhythm 1, but he's since started to gain back that ground that he's lost. And as long as he can keep being an absolute beast over those whoops like he is right now, and he should be in a good position to maybe make a move on Hatter later into this LCQ, possibly on lap 5 or our last lap on lap 6. And since the race is over 25% complete, if we do have a black screen or if the lobby experiences any sort of disconcerting lag, the race will not be restarted. We will be doing a staggered start. King Edward does not land that triple as clean as you could. He's going to need to reference Mr. Clean manuals to learn how to land that triple cleanly. Otherwise, he might not qualify. Anything's possible. This race is not over yet. And though Edward sits at about a half section ahead of Mad Hatter, or Hatter is Mad, anything can happen. And Demo Turtle, though he seems faster than Hatter, is having some trouble staying consistent on this track. So if he wants to make a last lap move on Hatter, he's going to need... Oh, and he's not even going to have to do that, but Hatter sends him in to the face jump of the inside of that double rollover section. We're going to keep an eye on these beggars as they battle for the last qualifying position, which is second place. Getting a podium in the last chance qualifier is all well and good, but if you're at the bottom end of that podium, it's not where you want to be, because it means that you only get the D and Q point and you don't go on to the main event. But Demo is starting to make substantial ground on Hatter. He's definitely going to look at making a possible move on Hatter over this last turn. We're going to keep an eye on this. Again, this is for the last qualifying position. Both exit the roller section cleanly except for Demo Turtle, who goes down at the very end. That could be the end of his race. So close to qualifying for the main event 2 weeks in a row in the LCQ, but it looks like he's going to have to settle for a third place and 1 D&Q point as Edward tries to go a little fancy over that finish line double and flips. And as I go into the wrong teleporter on complete accident, we'll blame that on the track maker. So qualifying in the LCQ, going onto the main event, into the main event, is King Edward, and Hatter is mad. Alright, we're ready to get this main event started. 12 racers, this is the race that counts. The gate has exploded, and Castlefied is leading so far on the whole shot stretch, but is not going to get the whole shot. Sully grabs the whole shot, going over the whoop section, and then flips. Both riders flip over the berm on the whoop section. Both are losing substantial position in this race. Your two leaders at the start of this race that had a very solid lead over everyone else have both gone down over the same berm. And your new leader now is Gogeta Rules, followed closely by BXA, Real Deal Smooth Moves D, and King Edward, who overtakes Smooth Moves over that rock section. Gogeta is starting to gain a little bit of ground on people as we head in, and he exits the first lap in first place, and thus begins race 2 of season 7 in HC Supercross with large-breasted action that you know and love. Office, who was gaining a lot of ground on Castlefied over the first heat, during the first heat, is like I said, could be a favorite to at least podium this race, so we're definitely going to keep an eye on him as this race progresses. Your top 3 are pretty evenly split apart so far. We have Gogeta Rules, King Edward, and Office overtaking Real Deal. Not exactly sure what happened, we didn't get eyes on that. But Office is now sitting in 3rd place in that podium position that I was talking about earlier today. By earlier today, I mean just now, by the way. Castlefied started to make up a little bit of ground on Turkey Shot 98. Not exactly sure where Turkey Shot was able to start, but it looks like he's currently sitting pretty in a top 5. He cases the double over the rollovers. I'm not too sure what to call that section, but Castlefied could have gotten around him and instead hits the rear end of Turkey Shot, thus not getting the pass, and he's going to have to try again. But he can pass go and collect $200, so I mean, at least he has that. And he is going a little bit faster over Turkey Shot in that section. Going for a block pass. Doesn't look like he gets it, though, but he's going to make a move on this inside. And as long as he can hold on to it, it looks like Castle has definitely made a pass and is working his way back up the pack towards the top podium places. Alright. Taking the outside this time, that'll give him a better section, a better run through the whoops, which is a big help. Actually, I'm not sure where Pancake Muffin is. Is he in this race? Yeah, Pancake is in here. We're gonna try to find Pancake. That's there he is right there. He's not in the top 5, trying to get in to that top 5. He's currently stopped by Turkey Shot and Castle. Castle goes down over the double rollover part. There are so many technical parts in this track, and I'm not sure what they're all called, but Castle does not give Turkey Shot any room going over that triple. That is a very dirty move, and he actually ends up paying for it. That doesn't really help him at all. So he could get minus points already on top of a position loss. Pancake is starting to work his way back up into the top 5. I'm sorry, he's in the top 5 right now, trying to get in the hunt for 3rd place, which is currently being duked out by Real Deal and Office. Office is a member of Rockstar KTM. Real Deal goes down in the roller section and ends up losing his top 3 position. He's out of podium position, and Pancake Muffin has worked his way back up the pack. Not exactly sure where he started, but it definitely wasn't the best. That being said, Pancake is a very solid racer. He can easily get back up and could even start giving Gogeta a run for his money. But he's going to have to get past his teammate Office first. Real Deal has not really lost any ground, but not gained any either. And it looks like he's going to make sure that he's not losing ground as he exits Rhythm 1 cleanly. And a pack is starting to form up around the midsection of the pack here. Trying to rail that berm was Sully. That actually doesn't work out well for him as he goes off the section. But Pancake Muffin is starting to catch up to Office. Wait a minute. Pancake Muffin must have crashed because he was right behind Office. He should be a lot closer. I'm not exactly sure what happened. If you guys saw it, I'd like to know what happened because he was definitely in the runnings for trying to make a move on the Office 1808, which is a teammate of his. And all of Rockstar KTM is in this race, and if they can all place in consistent positioning throughout this race, if they can all at least get in the top 10, then they could easily be in the lead in terms of team standings, which gives them a +3 bonus. And as I mentioned earlier in this broadcast, that +3 ends up being a lot of points at the end of the season. Turkey Shot and Soli are now battling it out. This should be for 6th place, I believe. Let's make sure. So we've got Gogeta in 1st place right now. It's followed closely by King Edward. Am I saying that right? All right, King Edward has somehow found his way past Office and Pancake Muffin. He might have been there the entire time and I just wasn't noticing him. But we have Gogeta in 1st right now. Edward, who is in 2nd right now, but after that wreck on the rollers, he's at risk of being passed by his teammates. And Office barely manages to save that. That would have been bad news. Very, very bad news for Office. Rolling is not a good idea. It's not something you want to do. It's not pretty. It doesn't help you race. It's something that you generally want to avoid in any kind of competitive racing. But Gogeta Rules is starting to build up his lead. This is looking similar to Pancake's last race on Outbreak. But Gogeta's going to need to keep a consistent race going for 12 more laps. This is a 20-lap race and we're only on lap 8. But as long as he plays it safe, he is definitely in good positioning for possibly getting his first win of the season. And I wish I had Gogeta's stats written down next to me. I'm not sure if he won any gold medals last season. I know that he podiumed once or twice, but he didn't finish in the top 5. I think he finished just below me actually in season 6. But Gogeta has really, really improved. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Gogeta so far in Season 7, and towards the end of Season 6, he's starting to show a lot of improvement, and seems to be getting better just by a little bit every single race, and it's definitely showing right now as he currently sits in 1st place, a section and a half ahead of Edward, but Pancake Muffin and Office have both caught up to him, but there is a pack growing around Office, Real Deal, and Castle. So this is going to be a very interesting battle for 4th place, as we see once favorite for podiuming this race, Office, who can still podium this race. Rockstar KTM is sitting really, really, really well right now with all racers in the top 5, and with all racers in the top 10, and 3 of those racers being in the top 5. Pancake Muffin has made a run on Edward. He's going to get past him. He's going to rail this berm. Edward's more than likely going to let him by if Pancake can get around him, or maybe not. Looks like we've got some competitive racing between teammates here, as Edward and Pancake are starting to battle it out for 2nd place. Both go over the triple, and Pancake makes a run on the inside, but Edward anticipates that, he runs the berm high and then exits it low and on the inside, and that stops Pancake from being able to block past him. That was a very good move by King Edward, a really, really smart move at that. But nonetheless, Pancake Muffin does end up getting past Edward anyway, and Pancake currently sits in 2nd with Gogeta well ahead. He's starting to lap riders, so look for blue flags. One rule that you guys might not know in HC Supercross is that if the leading rider is calling a blue flag on a rider that they're lapping, and that racer does not pull over, that is the only time in HC Supercross where any kind of intentional wrecking is allowed. As long as they're not cutting the track, cheating the track, or going backwards, any kind of wrecking is allowed. Gogeta's not going to have to call a blue flag, though. He gets past Hatter very cleanly, and Pancake Muffin goes down in the rhythm section. He's going to be repassed by teammate King Edward, and the Office 1808 is trailing closely behind him. Castlefy looking to gain some of the ground that he had back in the beginning of the race before the unthinkable happened, and both he and Sully went off the berm. I've honestly never seen that happen before to 2 racers that had such a good hole shot. That's definitely one of those morale affecting things, but it's all about pulling through, as Rockstar KTM is doing some good team racing right now, as Edward peels off to make sure that he's giving his racers enough room to progress around the track. When you battle with people, it actually ends up slowing you down a little bit, because you're trying to suck the speed out of other racers, and making contact slows you down as well as the other person. So anytime contact is made, or you need to shift your line a little bit, it ends up slowing you down just enough to where racers like Castle right now are able to come back and catch up to you. But they're all teammates. Oh, is this Hatter? Yeah, this looks like Hatter. Okay, that's a lapped rider, but it doesn't look like any blue flags are being called right now. Blue flags have a catch as well. Oh, going off the berm is Office. I have no idea what happened there. It happened in my peripheral, and I didn't see it. So he's going to be passed by Castle. Castle is probably going to blue flag Hatter. Hatter's his teammate. Actually, he's not going to. He's already passed Hatter. Pancake Muffin is 2 sections down almost from Gogeta Rules. He's about a section and 3/4 down from Gogeta. But if anyone had the capability of catching up to him, it would probably be Pancake, because he's, as I said earlier, he is a really solid racer. But a 1st place is all well and good, but as long as his team can pull through and position well, that puts Rockstar KTM in a solid position to really gain some ground on the ever so dangerous Monster Energy Kawasaki, who is not present in this race at all. In fact, let's see if any know. There are no Monster Energy Kawasaki riders in this Supercross event, so that is going to hurt them. But the top 8 races count. Your top 8 finishes in Season 7 count. So if you do more than 8 races, and let's say that you finish in a spot better than, maybe in your 1st race you got last, and in your 9th race you got a podium, that would overrule that positioning. So it's your top 8 races no matter what that count towards it. So that being said, even though Monster Energy Kawasaki is not currently present at this race, it is still more than possible that they come back. Gogeta goes over that rhythm section a little bit, but he has a well enough lead over Pancake Muffin, who's gained a little bit of ground on him. Gogeta Rules was once towards the middle of that roller section, as Pancake was about right there on rhythm 1. So Pancake has gained a little bit of ground since that, and he's trying to get around Bean right now, a main event guaranteed rider who's being lapped. Castle Fight is looking to regain that ground still after that really crazy start at the beginning of the race. The pack is evenly split right now. Opponent just peeling off. He might be getting lapped. That's really good. Really good sportsmanship from him. And Mountain Dew just goes crazy. He just gets completely annihilated on that roller section. We're going to switch to the other view and shake things up a bit as Pancake seeks to, in 3 laps, somehow catch Gogeta Rules, who is still about a section ahead. They haven't really gained too much time on each other. Gogeta Rules is a very prominent figure in the Outlaw, or the Octane Racing League's Supercross League that is getting ready to finish up their last season of Supercross. Octane is actually not going to be doing any more Supercross racing, so we have lost our sister Supercross Racing League, and we're going to miss having that competition between our good friends at Octane Racing League. But all of that experience and all of that racing in that league looks like has helped Gogeta Rules and is propelling him into his first win of Season 7. As he's about to finish his lap, he's about 3/4 of the way done, a little bit more than that, maybe about 5/7 if you really want to get technical. Heading over the triple, he gets over it cleanly. The Pancake Muffin is actually gaining, is starting to gain a lot of ground on Gogeta. If this race were any longer, I think that Pancake would have been able to catch Gogeta. But anything's possible. This is the last lap, and Gogeta is a bitch and does have a tendency to choke. I apologize for the profanity, but that is Gogeta's real nickname. His real nickname is a profane term. I was kind of hoping that he wouldn't win this race because now he's going to rub it in my face. I'm totally kidding. Gogeta has dominated this race. He has earned this win as he passes his fellow teammate of Geico Honda, Ponage, as he laps him. And it looks like Gogeta is going to win race 2 of Season 7. He tries to do a whip and completely fails. Let's see if Pancake can do anything. It looks like he was trying to get enough speed for it. So, no style points for Gogeta or Pancake Muffin. Castle Fight is going to fight his way back on a really rocky start and get 3rd place. We're going to head down here. Still going through the wrong teleporter. I need to remember that the teleporter is on that side of the thingamabobber of the Eagle's Nest. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm not getting in any other racers' ways, as the race is still going on. Not every racer has finished this race yet. We'll go ahead and give people some high fives for finishing this race, starting with Mountain Dew. So finishing race 2, first place, his very first win of the season. That is definitely going to help Geico Honda. Is Gogeta Rules, followed by Pancake, the leader of Rockstar KTM, which is a very dangerous team in this race. Castle Fight battles his way up, never gave up, never surrendered, and ended up getting 3rd place for this race. Rounding off our top 5 is Sully, formerly known as Unknown Gaming. The Office, this is Edward, who is currently taking positions right now. BXA Real Deal Smooth Moves D, Turkey Shot 98, Mountain Dew, Ponage, Bean, and Hatter finishes in a somber last place, but he qualified. he's still got points, and that's something to be proud of. Qualifying for an HT Supercross main event is one of the hardest things that you can do in competitive Halo racing. Congratulations to Gogeta Rules for getting first place. We will be right back with some post-race interviews from Gogeta, Castlefied, and Pancake Muffin. But we'll go ahead and send it over to Erin Bates, our podium gal. I'm just kidding. We don't actually have Erin Bates. If only we could be so lucky, right? As we go on for podium pictures, those people are not supposed to be on there. They didn't win the race. They're not supposed to teabag people, Bean. That's not very cool at all. Alright guys, we're here with Gogeta Rules in his first win of Season 7. He's a member of Geico Honda. Gogeta, many people call you the bitch, and now you've won your first race in Season 7. So how confident are you in both your team and in your own abilities to possibly keep finishing in podium positions throughout Season 7?
Well, you know, Jeff, I'm very confident in my capabilities and that of my team. The first week I had a solid ride to 4th place for both accidents, and this time I had a great start, going into first for the first section, and of course my team really helps me, especially Steve, Stacey, motorcycle insurance.
Could you walk us through that race, go a little bit more in detail about what your mindset was going into it, and just what your strategy was for finishing it?
Well, yeah, I just knew that a good start was important on this track. I had a pretty good start. I would have had the whole shot probably, but I went through the gate and like stopped because I thought it hadn't dropped yet, and I went through, and I still got a pretty good start. And on the second berm of the track, actually, I was in third, but Gaming and I believe Castle buried their front end into the berm and went over their bars, and I got an easy double pass on them, and I pretty much led the entire race, and just building a gap on King Edward, which was pretty successful. After that, I was just keeping it steady, riding and hoping for the win.
Right. Could you speak up just a tiny bit? People are saying that they're having some issues hearing you right now.
Oh yeah, sure, Jeff. I will do. This is like the last second speak, though.
Alright, that's not a problem. So what's the message to the rest of your team for racing this season?
Keep saving on that motorcycle.
You're gonna need to repeat that. I went to the dashboard.
Okay, keep saving on that motorcycle insurance. I'm sure you'll make it.
Is there anyone that you'd like to thank before we go ahead and get Pancake in here?
I would like to thank my mom and my Geico Honda teammates and the entire team. And shout out to Les.
Your mic's messing up, dude. You're totally killing this interview right now, man. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we call him the bitch.
Yeah, I would like to say good luck to Les Smith at Detroit later on today. And shout out to Soda Pop going to Detroit as well.
Les Smith is known as Double Ump on halotracks.org. He is racing in the AMA Supercross race today in Detroit. So we all send him the best of luck and hope that he can get into that main event and you know, get his name out there a little bit more. All right, Gogeta, thank you very much for coming to talk with me, and congratulations again on winning your first race of Season 7.
Thanks, Jeff. It was my pleasure.
All right, man. Take care. We'll see you in the next race. Pancake.
Hey.
So your team had an opportunity to overtake Monster Energy Kawasaki during that race, and it looks like you've succeeded in that. So even though that you might not have won this race, your team has definitely gotten a great victory. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. As soon as we found out that nobody from Kawasaki was going to be able to make the race, I got together with everyone. I was like, focus on making the main because this is when we can really make up some good points.
All right. You had a little bit of a shaky start. I didn't really get get to see you until maybe halfway through that race. Could you walk us through what happened?
Basically on the whole shot, I got together with Bean, and I was in last place, like over the whole shot marker, and I made a few passes through the whoop section, but then once again, I think I landed on top of Castlefide in the first split section and fell back to last again. So from there, I knew it was kind of like just trying to save myself from like a totally bad race, but at the same time, I still believed that I could come back and win, and I was about a half a section off from doing that. So I think I ran a pretty good race.
How how confident are you in your abilities to keep placing in podium positions and being a threat to Monster Energy Kawasaki throughout the rest of season 7? We're only 2 races in, but you've started it off strong.
Well, I mean, going off of this previous race, I obviously had a last place hole shot, and across the finish line on the first lap, I had to have been 8th or 9th. But seeing how I can come back from that and still get a second and almost come back to win it, I feel like no matter what happens, as long as nothing terrible happens, I can always be a threat.
So, does your team have any strategies, a specific strategy, for not only making the main event, but ensuring that you're at least finishing in the top 8, top 10?
Well, I always tell my guys like consistency is the number one most important thing. So in your heat race, if you're trying to go for the heat win and some guys really battling for it hard, you don't want to wreck yourself or wreck both of you. So take it easy, get into the main event, and then the main, that's when you make the money. So put it all on the line, but don't push too hard and make a mistake.
All right, that was Pancake Muffin, guys. He was the winner in Outbreak SX and is the second place finisher and current leader of the team with the most accumulated points so far, which is going to give him a plus 3 point boost in the leaderboards. A huge help. Thank you for talking to us, Pancake, and good luck in the next race.
Thank you.
What's up?
So that was a pretty crazy start. What happened? Do you think that it was maybe something you did, or maybe you just got a really unlucky break exiting that whoop section? So that was really crazy.
I don't know. Like I was coming out of the like I just pulled the whole shot alongside gaming. It was either one of us, and we were just coming in. And then as I was entering the berm, or as like when my wheels touched down out of the whoops, I got a weird flip, and it just kicked me up and kicked me over the berm. And I've never had anything like that happen. So I was a little bit thrown off, but I mean, turned around really quick, regrouped, and yeah, put it up on the podium.
Your team Tactical Advantage hasn't been around since season 4, which actually wasn't completed, but you brought it back for this season. Uh, but as you've had some rocky starts for the first 2 races of season 7, your team has also gotten off to a rocky start. Is there anything that you're planning on doing to change that for both yourself and your team members? Is there any strategy? I guess would be the better question.
Um, I'd say right now it's partially just a learning experience, mainly because it's been a while since Hatter's been here. Hatter has also a lot of issues with frame rate because his Xbox is not the best, and he's been going through a couple of different Xboxes. And racing has been around. Racing got a sixth last weekend, and I'm just happy he shows up to the races, to be honest. But yeah, it was last weekend was a little bit rough. This weekend we kind of turned it around. Got 2 guys in the main. Would have liked one of them to do better, but considering the circumstances, I'm not entirely disappointed. So, yeah, just working it out with Hatter, and hopefully he'll get his lag or his frame rate issue sorted out, whatever it is, and hopefully he can be up battling up front because I believed in him when I picked him, and I mean, even with all his problems, I still believe in him.
So going back to that rocky start, you actually managed to really pull back, and you never gave up, which is the biggest thing that any podium finishing racer can do, or at least any podium contending racer can do, is to never give up no matter what. And because you did that, you actually managed to fight past, I don't know, at least maybe 4 or 5 people. So what was your mindset after having such crazy and unexpected wreck like that?
Oh, it's just like it happened, and I was like, all right, well, it's shitty. That's definitely not the right word I should be using, but like just stuff in
We can
general.
bleep it
It
out.
was really it was just unfortunate, and I knew I was going to be in a hole early on, and I was really counting on a good start, because really a great start will put you in a really good position. But I just said, all right, you know what? It's still a long race. I could be way worse, and so I just tried to keep working, get closer to the front. Midway, I think the first third of the race, I was getting a little bit frustrated and impatient, mainly because I would pass Turkey Shot, and then I'd keep getting past him. Like every time I'd pass him, there'd be a part on the track that I'd randomly flip, and I think there was 3 times I ended up behind him, and I ended up passing him all times, and it was really frustrating. But then I started working my way up, and I just tried to click people off. Once I got around Turkey Shot, I looked at Real Deal, and then once I looked at Real Deal, I looked at as many KTM guys as I could, and I think it was about at lap 16 I got into the whole, like, all right, just because I was getting butterflies, I was like, all right, just chill out, just try and get one at a time, and I played Edward really, really slow, and I slow rolled him, and I just waited for him to make a mistake, and unfortunately he crashed off the triple with less than 2 laps. And then I had 1 lap to go. I got randomly screwed over by the on-off before the big triple, and I actually doubled it, and I was like, oh no, please. And unfortunately, Edward got caught back into me, but fortunately I was able to stay up front. Sucks that happened to him, but yeah, just had a good race. Just really happy to put it up for the 3rd place, especially those circumstances I had to deal with.
All right. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank before we head out and end the stream?
I'd just like to thank the hosts and you for giving me the opportunity to host. Edward for the track. The track was actually, the new version was actually really solid. Hatter for the advice, and HT Velocity for getting me into this position. Speaking of which, I have to go host a Velocity tourney in, I think, 14 minutes. So, yeah, I'd just like to thank the hosts, the map makers, all my friends around me for believing in me, and shout out to Soda Pop.
Awesome. All right, guys, that is your 3rd place finisher, Victoria Field, race 2 in season 7, Castle-Fied. Thanks for talking to us, man, and have fun in the Velocity race.
Okay, no worries. See y'all in Halo 3.
See ya. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our broadcast. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we also hope that if you were rooting for Gogeta, you enjoyed the outcome as well. Thanks again for tuning in. We will be back next week for another exciting race of HT Supercross. We'll see you then. Take care.